I would have been fine with a port to Smash Wii U. I would have been fine with not getting a new Smash game for another 5 or 6 years. I would have been fine playing what I was already playing, but on Switch. But what we got was so much better. Like, oh my god, we got a new Smash game a little over a month ago. This is a game we only knew about 9 months prior to its release. With how long the wait for Smash Wii U and 3DS were, at least for me, this is nothing by comparison. And man, did they start off this hype train right. They just showed a bunch of stuff about Splatoon 2's DLC campaign, and then proceeded to show more Splatoon. By this point, if you had no interest in Splatoon, you were bored out of your mind. Then the screen goes dark, she looks up, and oh my god, it's Smash. And the Inklings are playable? I needed this game yesterday. Then we got like no new info for 3 months until E3. We didn't even have a name back then. Because of this lack of information, there was a lot of debate about whether this would even be a new game or not. Now, I was team, it's probably a port, but if it's a new game I wouldn't be surprised. But in hindsight, this debate was so stupid. New logo, new playable character, Breath of the Wild link, subtle new theme, it was all there. Once E3 hit, we got a huge info dump. This whole presentation was just 30 straight minutes of shut the hell up and take my money. Every Smash character from every game, most stages and 28 hours of music, really isn't too big for Smash. Sakurai, please have my children. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yeah, sure sounds like it. Although I gotta say, I wasn't as hyped for this game as I usually am for Smash. I'm not sure if it's because of how much information they dropped on us at once, or every newcomer getting revealed before release, but there really wasn't a ton to speculate about. But I think it's mainly how I wasn't as excited for the newcomers. We only have 6 new characters, not counting Echoes, and I was only excited for 2 of them. I voted for Inklings in the Smash ballot, so my heart skipped a beat once I realized they were playable. I was excited for Ridley too, I mean just look at my outro. But the thing about Ridley is that he didn't make me go, holy mother of yes, Ridley's in Smash! I felt more like, oh my god, Ridley's finally in Smash, it's about time. As for the other newcomers, well you see, I would be super excited, but I know nothing about Castlevania.
I love Castlevania, and I'm excited!
I only played Castlevania for like 10 minutes. Who the hell is Richter? I only played Donkey Kong Country for an hour. The trailer was hilarious though.
You had my attention, and now you have my erection!
I'm not that into Animal Crossing, Isabelle looked like a clone of Villager. Not to mention her trailer felt half-assed. The Sentinel wouldn't have been my Gen 7 pick, but I'm alright with this. That stupid Grinch leak killed my hype too. Like, how is that thing even faked? Not the print and bad picture quality, but the circumstances surrounding it. Like, god damn it, I just wanted to play as Isaac. I guess there's always the next game. This hype train won't stop here though, because we still have DLC characters. 2 of the 6 DLC characters have already been revealed. Looking back on it, Piranha Plant is hilarious and looks really fun to play as. However, I was incredibly salty at the time, just because characters I wanted, like Isaac and Springman, turned out to be assist trophies and they put in a random Mario enemy instead. Watching that presentation was almost as soul-crushing as working retail. But don't worry, I'm over having my hopes and dreams crushed because Joker is in Smash. Like, is this real life? When I heard the news, I had to take a double take. I saw Game Explain's discussion about it in my sub box, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Persona 5 is one of my favorite games of all time, and to see the main character playable, I suddenly don't feel bad about Isaac anymore. This is still hard to believe. Like, we all joked about this, but to see it actually come to fruition is incredibly surreal. Please bring Persona 5 to Switch. My friends really need to play this game. But hey, I've wasted enough of your time talking about how excited we all were pre-release. We all wanted to play this game. Smash was even the most pre-ordered Switch game to date. I wanted this game, my friends wanted this game, and I'm sure you did too if you're watching this. Man, 1 year ago, who would have guessed I already would have had 60 hours in a new Smash game? Grab a seat, folks. I've been waiting to talk about this one. Let me just start off by saying how fantastic this game feels to play. Ultimate takes everything from Smash 4 and makes it better in just about every conceivable way. A few characters did get nerfed, but look at this. Bayonetta needed a nerf. During that pre-release tournament in E3, I'm convinced MKLeo showed how broken Bayo was, just to make sure Sakurai knew to fix it. Like, seriously, this is just disgusting. Not all heroes wear capes, but pretty much every other character got buffed. Everyone is here? I think you forgot to mention that everyone is good, too. I'm even getting mileage out of characters I've never cared for before, like Samus, Link, Falco, and Sheik. Like, my god, Samus is actually good for once. How the hell did that happen? The mechanics in general have been changed to reward more offensive plays. Just moving around trying to land a hit feels good, and getting that finishing blow to send your opponent flying off the screen has never been better. The zoom in for the final attack was an awesome touch. Now, I'm not going deep into the intricacies of Super Smashing Brothers for this video, but in case you somehow don't know what Super Smash Brothers is, I'll just give you the short version. You beat someone up and knock them off the stage to kill them. Higher your percentage is, the more likely you are to go flying. All in a massive crossover between the Nintendo multiverse. See? Simple. Kind of. What this game is different from the other Smash games is the sheer amount of characters that you need to unlock. You boot it up for the first time and it's like, well, here's the roster, thanks for the cash, see you next game. There was a whole 66 characters that need to be unlocked this time, which is a little much, if I'm gonna be honest. At first, I actually really liked this change. In Smash, once you see the challenger approaching screen, you need to beat them in a one-stock match to unlock them. You unlock new characters about every 10 minutes through versus matches, so we won't be waiting too long in between unlocks. You can also unlock new ones by finishing Classic Mode or finding them in World of Light, both of which I'll get into later. There's plenty of different ways to unlock characters, and it's a very easy process. Just time-consuming. You start out with only a few characters and gradually unlock the rest of them. Due to my limited options, I tried out characters that I didn't typically play as. As such, I found even more characters that I liked, and noticed how much they've changed between games. And when you unlock a character you really want, I forgot what that feeling felt like. I just got so giddy to play as a character that I really wanted to play as. This system just brought out a new excitement that I haven't felt since Melee. If you lose against a character, they can either randomly show up again for a rematch after a while, or you can fight them in the new Challengers approach. Isn't games and more in a corner, which is a little out of the way, but they do tell you about it once it's available for the first time. There, you'll instantly go into a fight to have a chance to unlock them. I was pleasantly surprised by how difficult some of these unlock fights are. I had to use Challengers approach quite a bit to unlock everyone. My strategy mainly came down to picking Gandalf and hoping for the best. Usually worked quite nicely for me. Character unlock fights are apparently easier now, but I did it the hard way. Get on my level, Scrub Lords, Evo, here I come. But after a while, this character unlocking process got really old. There was just too many characters that you need to unlock. After about 45 unlocks, I got tired of unlocking characters. When I got a character I wanted, at this point I felt more relieved than excited. I just wanted the full roster already. But man, does it feel good to have this full roster. My god, ain't it a beauty? As for how the new characters actually play, they were all good ones. Inkling's main gimmick is being able to ink enemies to inflict more damage. You can refill your ink tank by shielding and pressing B. Don't underestimate inking your enemies though, it can really make a difference. They've got great recovery too, making them pretty good at edge guarding. Ridley is alright in my opinion. His projectiles are good for distance and his down B is devastating when you can actually get it to hit. Otherwise, he's somewhat standard. Easily the least good newcomer in my eyes. Psyman I really like, although he's not one of my favorites. His whip's reach is great, and his specials covers his weak spot really nicely. His recovery is garbage though, but I just love how he can swing his weapon and grabs the stage's ledge. That's cool as hell, dude. King K. Rool is really fun to play as. Tons of over, tons of recovery, a back air that's so fun to spike with. Man, this dude is just fun. He's always got a counter that can reflect projectiles for god knows what reason. Is his belly made of Franklin badges or stomach? What did I just say? Okay. Also, his down throw puts his enemies into the ground for an easy kill. Damn, dude. Isabelle is a pseudo-clone villager. She has a lot of the same playstyle, but she has a lot of different moves too. Think Mario vs Luigi or Ness vs Lucas. Her fishing pole is just evil. I always get caught by it, I don't know why. But I didn't really care for playing as her, along with Villager. Incineroar was another fun character, mainly his counter. Instead of doing a counter attack, you do a small attack, and your next attack is powered up instead. This thing is ridiculous. You can easily end up doing 60 to 70% in one attack when you get it off. His side B is fun to use too. Basically it's just a grapple, but it's so awesome to combo with. Also, he taunts after every attack. It's amazing. His recovery is god-awful though. Don't go off the stage. Like, ever. He's still a nice character though. And there's even more new characters due to the introduction of Echo Fighters. Instead of removing Dark Pit for being too similar to Pit, they were just like, actually, let's make more characters like this. Echo Fighters are previous characters, but with a few small changes. Or none at all in some cases. For example, Daisy is just a different skin for Peach, Chrom is really different from Roy while still playing like Roy, and Ken is practically a different character from Ryu, and Boru's on clone territory. I honestly really like Echo Fighters. Since everyone's here this time around, they're just there as bonus fighters for anyone that wants to play as them. Any excuse for more Metroid characters. As for my favorite characters, well, let's just do a top 5 right now. Number 5, Gandalf. I liked him in 4, but my god, they made him faster, and his smash attacks are swords now. Dude's a beast this time around. He's still pretty slow, but he hits like the crippling realization that Waluigi will never be in Smash. What a fun character. Number 4, Pokemon Trainer. I loved Pokemon Trainer and Brawl, although I didn't like Charizard in 4. I couldn't put my finger on why. Now that Trainer's back, I realized that Charizard isn't fun on his own. It's this ability to swap between a lightweight, a midweight, and a heavyweight that makes him so fun to play. Squirtle's got some insane juggle game. While he can't kill easily, you can just swap to Ivysaur's Charizard. Ivysaur's attacks are quick and have good reach, with a few projectiles just to be annoying. My personal favorite of the three. Charizard is good for tanking and hits hard, with 3 jumps too. Character swapping felt slow and raw due to load times, but swaps are instant in this game, minus the 3-second cooldown. I'm really glad one of my Brawl favorites is so damn good this time around. Number 3, Lucas. I've loved Lucas ever since he was introduced. He feels almost identical to how he was in 4, but his PK freeze has some awesome kill potential this time around. It's just so awesome getting someone off the stage and hitting them with freeze to get that kill off. Number 2, Inkling. I was so happy when they got in, and to see me like them this much, let me just say my Smash Ballot vote was well worth it. I love these guys as soon as I unlock them. They can juggle, they can spike, they can do a ton of damage with the right setup, they're just so much fun to play as. No roller is even a great kill confirm in high percentages. Normally I just stick to 1 or 2 ults when I play a character, but with Inklings I use just about all of them. My favorites being purple, pink, and green. They're all just so cool looking. It's hard just sticking to one of them. Number 1, Chrom. And Roy. I think I like Chrom slightly more, but since he's an echo of Roy, I'm not sure which one I really like more. Chrom's another case of I loved him as soon as I unlocked him. This series is everything good from other Fire Emblem characters. He's got Roy's moveset, Lucina's blade damage, and Ike's up B. This up B is disgusting, by the way. Like, look at this! Sure, you might not always get back up at the stage, but you can sure as hell bring your opponent down with you. Oh, and if you both got 1 stock left, it usually counts as a victory for you. Because that's fair. Except for this one time when I triggered a sudden death for some reason. I get it. Maybe you were just trying to get back up to the stage. Maybe you weren't trying to bait your opponent. But triggering a sudden death when it's both players' last stock would be a nice change. I just love all of Chrom's attacks. Decent range, good air game, nice spike. This dude just feels amazing to play as. On the other hand, I love Roy's damage potential. Roy's blade does more damage to the hilt, while Chrom's does the same damage throughout. Just due to my playstyle, I tend to do a lot more damage overall as Roy because I tend to be closer to my opponent. Chrom's got better distancing options, but Roy's recovery is a little bit better. I'm a Roy main in Melee, so I'm glad that both he and Chrom are so much fun in this game. And yeah, I know that Trainer, Inkling, and Chrom are pretty consistently top tier, but do you think I care about tier lists? I made Melee Roy and Brawl Lucas for crying out loud. I just genuinely love playing as these characters. But this isn't to say I only like these characters. There's plenty more like Cloud, Shulk, Captain Falcon, K-Rool, Sheik, Falco, and Colin that I still really like. My god, there's just so many characters that are fun to play as in this game. This list might not even be any more close to this in a few months. I started playing Falco like a day before writing this and I'm already considering mating him. There's just so many more characters that I want to learn and get better at. This game's only been out for a month, so it's hard to tell what my definitive favorites are going to be. In Smash 4, I felt like I played as my mains too much. Maybe that's why I barely play as Corn and Greninja in Ultimate, but this is just my personal taste. There's over 70 fighters with 6 more on the way. There's a character for anyone at this point. Even if you get tired of regular matches, there's still plenty of other stuff to do. You can turn off items, or in my case, turn them back on. You can turn on stage morphs, switch to a different stage mid-match. Stamina mode has even been turned into his own rule set. Speaking of which, you can save rule sets this time, which makes making new rule sets a lot more fun. You can have a serious rule set or two, you can have casual rule sets, you can even make a makeshift Street Fighter mode if you want to. You can turn off stage hazards this time as well, which is an absolute godsend. Final Smashes even have a meter that you can turn on this time around. Instead of waiting for a Smash Ball, it's just a meter that fills up over time. When the FS meter is turned on, the action doesn't shift gears to breaking the Smash Ball. It just acts as a finisher that you would find in most fighting games. Final Smash from the Smash meter isn't as powerful as a standard Final Smash, but it's a welcome addition that makes Final Smashes more enjoyable, even if I don't usually have them turned on in this game. 8-player Smash is still in the game, and you need to keep hitting the Add Player button on the side of the selected players. It always bothered me that 8-player Smash would consider a separate mode, when this is honestly what they should have done in the first place. It also means that you can just ignore it now, because really, it's a neat idea, but it's not something most people use much. The main menu isn't awful this time either. Everything's where you would expect it to be, it looks nice, it's how a menu should be. I wouldn't even need to mention this if it weren't for Smash 4's god-awful menus. Sakurai's wife is the one that usually designs these menus. What was she thinking last time? Were they going through a rough spot in their marriage back then? Leaving the regular versus screen, there's of course Special Smash. Custom Smash is pretty much unchanged how it worked in Smash Wii U. Although there's no stamina with 200% options. Super Sudden Death is back to being its own mode, which I ended up preferring. Everyone starts at 200%, so all it takes is one good hit to send your opponent flying. It's usually used as tiebreaker in time matches, but you can still end up with one in a stock match every once in a blue moon. The screen starts to zoom in during a sudden death this time, which means they finally fixed the damn thing. Like, oh my god, it's been a problem for the longest time. They added falling bombs in Brawl, I believe, but it wasn't enough. If both players ledge hog, they just didn't have to fight. In Ultimate, you have to land that hit, or else you just go off the screen and die. They added tournament mode back to the main game, instead of being an online-only thing, which is really for the best. My favorite new side mode is Squad Strike. Basically, this is a mode competitive players came up with to have a makeshift tag team mode, and it's officially in the game! While it is limited to 3v3 or 5v5, it's an amazing addition. You can have the characters swap seamlessly mid-match, think of the end of Smash 4, or you can proceed like a normal match, except players keep their damage from the previous round, or you can just be boring to a best-of match. You know, best of 3 or 5. Huh, I'm by no means a competitive player, but Squad Strike is fun as hell. I haven't played around with it too much, but this is going to be an amazing thing for tournaments. The only shortcoming is that elimination and best of are limited to one stock per character. If they put that in, this mode is perfect. You can still do crew battles manually, but putting in a multiple stock option would just be the icing on this very tasty cake. There's another new mode called Smashdown, where a character is locked out after they're picked. The player with the most wins after the amount of matches wins. This mode's alright. It seems fun for parties, but only really there if everyone somehow gets bored of playing versus matches. Although there's a few small things I don't like about the versus mode. Mainly just how we can't press start to skip the results screen. It's small, but it's annoying. Why did they get rid of this? You can't turn stage hazards off individually either. Many stages I don't care either way, but then there's stages that just feel empty without hazards. I've never once thought, hey, let's play on WarioWare without the microgames. Taking away Pokemon Stadium's transformations feel wrong too. I like being able to see Sakurai's cat. At least you can finally play on Wily Castle without that dumbass yellow devil. Still have nightmares about this thing. This game's all about options. Letting you turn the hazards off individually would be a huge step up. But these complaints are minuscule. This is by far the best versus mode in the series. The AI is fantastic this time too. Level 9 CPUs can grab you by the balls and knock you down into the fire pits of suppression. But at the same time, I'm actually able to beat them. They leave openings like any human would, even if they do stupid stuff like this every now and then. Although they get off perfect shields a little too much. Like, wow, okay. Man, I could talk about the versus mode all day, but there's still more content to cover. The biggest new mode is World of Light. We finally got another big adventure mode like Subspace, and it is a good effort. The Subspace Emissary was my favorite part about Brawl, and World of Light is not Subspace. Well, this story starts out with all the fighters standing on the side of a cliff, ready to fight this god of light thing called Galeem. Galeem then proceeds to kill every living thing in the universe without even trying. Except Kirby, because of course Kirby lives. I hear a lot of people call Sakurai biased by not being able to kill off his own son, but I've played enough Kirby to know that this scenario is 100% accurate. Kirby is a god slayer. He may look cute, but he eats guys like this for breakfast. Like, he kills gods and eldritch abominations on a weekly basis. Come on, people. Galeem makes puppets out of the remaining fighters, and it's up to Kirby to free everyone and save the universe for the upteenth time. World of Light is basically an event mode that's tied to a world map. You fight other characters that have what's called spirits attached to them. These are equipable, I guess, armor that increase your stats and give you bonus effects. Like starting the fight as a bigger size, increasing the power of your smash attacks, making yourself immune or resistant to hazards, stuff like that. Spirits also replace trophies, which I have mixed feelings about. I get that making so many 3D models is time consuming, but I miss the trivia the trophies had. There's like 1300 spirits, but I feel like there should at least be trivia for all the fighter spirits, and anything the 2 stars or higher. Spirits do something in gameplay, but after I finished World of Light, I cared about spirits even less than trophies. The trivia aspect would at least give me a reason to want to collect most of them. The game gives you plenty of ways to progress though. You even pick a starter, essentially, and different players will make their own way through it. Your ultimate goal is to defeat all 3 bosses and move on to fight Galeem. Luckily, they'll occasionally be like, yo, dumbass, go here, so you won't get lost very often. It has dungeons too. Some are video game recreations, and some are actual dungeons with harder challenges and a boss at the end. If you find a fighter challenge, they'll join your party after you defeat them, so you can play as them. And that's all this mode really is. You run around, do a bunch of event matches, slowly unlock new characters, occasionally go through a dungeon, until we finish it about 15 hours later. I did have fun with it, but this mode just drags on for way too long. It has that classic trope of not being over when you think it's over. Twice. although it's really obvious when you actually get to the final boss. There are a few cutscenes, but there's only like 5 or 6 of them. I'm not spoiling any of them here, but there really isn't much to spoil. There's also multiple endings, weirdly, but all of them are underwhelming. In all 3 cases, the game just kinda ends. You basically just pick an ending right at the end, so you're not locked out of any of them. I wasn't really expecting a story, but I still feel like they could have done more with it. The characters never interact with each other like they did in Subspace. My favorite parts of that mode were just watching Lucario find Snake with Aura, with Fox fighting a freaking Rayquaza, with Meta Knight teaming up with all the Fire Emblem characters. World of Light doesn't have any of that. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a really fun mode. Just running around this big map and completing challenges is super fun and addicting. I just love all the thought-out references. Like, there was a Ryu with a Lion Spirit that loves taunting and has super armor. Ryan in Xenoblade is not only a tank, but he loves shouting that it's Ryan time. Or Isabelle that has a Roll Casket Spirit that's on a plane because she can pilot an airship. And how that she's accompanied by a Diddy Kong that represents a little monkey called Data. I should really play Mega Man Legends. Or the telephone that's Ness's dad being represented by Snake, who is constantly invisible. Oh my god. There's so many good and weirdly detailed references in these challenges. This mode was really well thought out. There's fan service absolutely everywhere. World of Light as a whole really reminds me of the adventure mode from Hyrule Warriors. In that game, you run around and complete challenges on a world map that you have to traverse around. It's practically the same idea. I prefer World of Light just because it feels more thought out and less monotonous, but World of Light can still fall victim to this. If you're going for 100%, it can get pretty tedious. Mainly because you can pretty easily come up with setups that can cheese through just about anything. And again, you're essentially doing the same thing the whole time. There was the occasional boss or puzzle, but things don't really shake up too often. This is a mode that's meant to be played in small bursts, not all at once. I'll probably get around to finishing all the challenges eventually, but I don't think I'll ever do another full playthrough. I finished in 15 hours, but I think this would have been a lot better if it was around 8 hours. World of Light is fun, but at the end of the day, I still prefer Subspace despite its flaws. You can use the spirits you find in Versus matches if you want to, and there's also a spirit board that you can do challenges on. Spirit board is pretty much master orders from Smash Wii U. Do some challenges every now and then, you'll get some rewards for it. Mainly a distraction from the other modes if you feel like playing it. I noticed that just about all these challenges are reused in World of Light, but I could be wrong about that. Although if I want to play some single player stuff, I usually go to Classic mode, which is easily the best it's ever been. Not much has changed from previous games, mainly just how its difficulty is handled. You can only store it up to 5.0, but every victory increases the difficulty, with 9.9 being the highest. You fight opponents in a set order with a boss at the end. But what I really like is that every character has a unique set of opponents they face. It's not much, but it makes the mode a lot less repetitive. You don't always fight Master Hand either, you can end up fighting any of the World of Light bosses. They usually make sense too. My favorite route was Mega Man's. You fight a bunch of characters representing Robot Masters, and the final fight isn't even the boss. You fight Galeem, then you fight Dr. Mario representing Dr. Wily, then you fight Mewtwo, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be the alien from Mega Man 2. I really liked Ryu's too. You fight characters representing Street Fighter characters, all in stamina mode. Also, Donkey Kong fights Master Hand in New Donk City for some reason. Not complaining though. The new bonus game is just alright, but that's just a small blemish on an otherwise really solid mode. Moving on, there's the usual training mode that's gotten a slew of upgrades. You can reset your positions at any time, you can see the predicted trajectories of attacks, you can select items from a menu instead of a clunky box, you can spawn specific assist trophies and Pokeballs. There was just so many things that they improved upon in training. There's even a stage that's exclusive to training mode. I thought this was a dumb restriction at first, but then I actually played on it. Like, this stage is fantastic for a training mode, but these blast zones are so large that playing an actual match on it would be a nightmare. Guess I was wrong. Mob Smash has the usual multi-man modes, although it's limited to only 100 opponents, being Century Smash. This mode is just that, 100 Mii fighters, KO all of them. Perfect if you have some weird vendetta against these things. It's been replaced with a variant of this. Defeat every character in the game with one stock. Due to the lack of healing items, this is a lot harder than previous entries. It's a lot less fun than before too. I haven't been able to beat it yet, but I haven't felt inclined to either. Making all-star variants on Century Smash is probably a consequence of having so many characters, but hey, if this is the price we have to pay for having this magnificent roster, then so be it. Last up in Mob Smash is Cruel Smash. God, is this mode as unfun as it's always been. Fight as many Mii fighters as you possibly can with the odd stats against you, just like YouTube. This mode pretty much amounts to ledge hog as KO and hope for the best. Custom Mii fighters make a return from last time, worked pretty much how they did in Smash 4. The costumes are much easier to get a hold of at least. You can usually find them in the shop if you don't get them from Classic mode of World of Light. Mii still have customizable movesets, but they've been removed for everyone else. Mainly because no one used the damn things. was an awesome idea, but ultimately not very good in practice. You can access the Mii Maker from this screen, but I suck at making Miis, so instead, I just make my Mii cosplay as characters that I wish were in Smash. I take it back, I'm not completely over Isaac not getting in. At least the online isn't hot garbage this time. Don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. There's not many options this time, but the actual connection quality is good. Am I even playing Smash right now? There's a competent connection quality this time around. What the hell? Quick play is the main thing you're bound to use. Set your preferred roles and don't find someone to fight against you. I heard it was really bad at finding someone with those same roles, but this was fixed within a week. By the time I tried out quick play, it was a non-issue. I did end up in like 2 or 3 matches that had items on, but this was after like at least 150 quick play battles. So it really isn't an issue, at least not for me. Usually I've just had variations of the numbers of stocks and the time limit, but it's more or less what I'm asking for. You also have a rank in the form of global smash power. I think it's supposed to be how many people you're better than, but it ultimately means nothing. You can end up losing like 600 to 900k GSP from one loss, and you can gain very little from wins, or the opposite can be true. It's really inconsistent, so you shouldn't worry about it. It's mainly a way to find players that are a similar skill level to you. Arenas are basically lobbies, they're your usual fare. Up to 4 people can fight at a time, you can spectate, and there's a queue for other people to play. It's mainly good for playing with friends, but you can make them public too. While there aren't as many options as there were in Smash Wii U, the connection quality more than makes up for that. It depends on the connection of the opponent, but on average, it's a very playable connection. Hell, it often feels like I'm in the same room as them. That's not overly impressive nowadays, but the fact that I can actually have fun with the online this time is a huge step forward. We've come a long way since Brawl. There may have been quite a few modes cut from Ultimate, but I weirdly don't miss them. I would have liked to have home run contests, but otherwise, there wasn't much reason to play most of them. Like, does anyone really enjoy Smash Tour? Come on. An improved Smash Run would have been nice, but I feel like I'm just complaining at this point. We have a Smash game with over 70 characters, and none of them are blatantly overpowered. This game also has a new adventure mode, fun extra modes, and the best classic mode in the series. And it's all on this weird tablet thing I've been carrying around for nearly 2 years. On top of all this, we have some amazing graphics. They're not a huge improvement over Wii U, but we have a better version of that in a locked 60 FPS, even in handheld mode. I just love what they did with the remastering stages too, the Melee ones especially. Sweet mother of Nintendo, these are some gorgeous stages. God damn, we even have 28 hours of amazing music with awesome remixes. There's a few minor flaws overall, but they're practically nothing. This game is exactly as advertised. This is the ultimate Super Smash Bros. Don't ask Sakurai for anything ever again. He, along with everyone else in this credits reel, has done good. Damn good. We don't deserve this game. This has been Flame Guy and... Whoa, can't believe they made Mega Man 7 a fighting game. Freaking Kevin. Okay, look. Mega Man 7 is next for real this time. I just needed to let my hype die down before I reviewed Smash. I mean, my god, I still wrote a 9-page script. Look, Mega Man is a playable character, and the final boss of Mega Man 7 is even an assist trophy. Close enough, right? Anyway, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next mission.